He put you in those handcuffs way before Gerald did.
Here's the genius of these films. They feel like they never leave the room, even when they technically do. The atmosphere, the stakes, the dialogue, it all locks you into one psychological space.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
These 10 one-room, or close enough, movies prove that it's not about where you are. It's about how the story makes you feel trapped. Number 10, Buried, Prime Video. What happens when your only co-star is a coffin and a cell phone? Buried traps Ryan Reynolds in a wooden box underground and never lets him, or you, breathe easy. Directed by Rodrigo Cortés, this survival thriller follows an American contractor in Iraq who wakes up buried alive with limited air, limited time, and one terrifying mission: stay alive long enough to be rescued. Shot entirely inside a coffin, the film uses lighting, sound design, and Reynolds' performance to create unbearable tension. It's a psychological gut punch that explores helplessness, political indifference, and the illusion of hope. Claustrophobic, emotionally brutal, and nerve-shredding, Buried turns the smallest setting imaginable into one of the most intense movie experiences you'll ever have. Number 9, The Guilty, Netflix.
There is a scared little girl whose mother has been abducted.
I need a better location.
I'll get it.
How will you get it?
Jake Gyllenhaal delivers one of his most intense performances yet in The Guilty, a claustrophobic thriller set almost entirely inside a 911 dispatch center. Directed by Antoine Fuqua, the film follows a disgraced LAPD officer demoted to desk duty until one frantic call pulls him into a harrowing kidnapping case that spirals far beyond what it seems. As tension rises, voices on the other end of the line become the only clues, pushing him toward a truth he's not ready to face. The film builds suspense with audio cues, emotional unraveling, and a script that leaves no room to breathe. Taut, relentless, and emotionally charged, The Guilty turns a single location and one voice in the dark into a full-blown psychological battleground. Number 8, Gerald's Game, Netflix. Stephen King called it unfilmable, until Mike Flanagan made it terrifying. Gerald's Game traps Carla Gugino's character in a remote lake house, handcuffed to a bed after her husband suddenly dies mid-roleplay. Alone, restrained, and spiraling, she's forced to confront not only her physical reality, but buried trauma and fractured memories. The entire film unfolds mostly in one room, but Flanagan injects it with psychological horror, hallucinations, and dread-laced suspense that never lets up. Gugino delivers a haunting performance, blurring the lines between survival and self-reckoning. This isn't just a horror film, it's a raw, unflinching dive into trauma, memory, and agency, wrapped in a survival scenario that will leave you breathless. Gerald's Game proves that true horror doesn't need monsters, just the mind turned against itself. Number 7, The Invitation, Tubi. A dinner party, old friends, a locked door. Something feels off, and it only gets worse. In The Invitation, director Karen Kusama builds unbearable tension from a seemingly polite evening into something sinister and suffocating. Will, played by Logan Marshall Green, visits his ex-wife's home for a mysterious reunion, but buried grief, cult ideology, and paranoia spiral into psychological dread. Most of the film takes place in one house, but it's the emotional claustrophobia that closes in. Kusama masterfully plays with suspicion, gaslighting, and the fear of trusting your instincts too late. Quiet, slow-burning, and razor-sharp, The Invitation is a masterclass in controlled unease. It's not about what's outside the house. It's about what's already inside, waiting for the moment to strike. Number 6, Exam, Tubi.
I'm the one you want!
8 strangers, one room, no instructions, just a blank sheet of paper and a countdown clock. Exam throws you into a psychological gauntlet where corporate ambition turns savage. Directed by Stuart Hazelden, this British thriller traps job candidates in a windowless room and challenges them to answer one question without ever knowing what the question actually is. As time ticks down, paranoia mounts, alliances shift, and civility breaks. It's a cerebral pressure cooker where the stakes feel personal, brutal, and oddly philosophical. The film examines not just intelligence, but character under pressure. Stripped of flashy effects or sprawling sets, Exam turns silence, rules, and suspicion into its deadliest weapons. If you like your thrillers, sharp, smart, and suffocatingly tense, this one's got your name on the paper. Number 5. The Platform, Netflix. A tower of hunger, one descending slab of food, and hundreds of prisoners trapped in a brutal vertical experiment. The Platform is a nightmarish dystopian thriller from Spain that turns minimalism into mayhem. Each day, a banquet lowers through the levels. Those above feast, those below starve. The catch? Every month, your level changes. Directed by Galder Gaztelu-Urrutia, this high-concept shocker isn't just about survival. It's about greed, power, and the illusion of fairness. As we follow Goring, a man who volunteered for the experiment, we descend into the madness of societal collapse and moral decay, bleak, bloody, and biting in its satire. The Platform is a chilling metaphor for wealth inequality, and a one-room horror that hits disturbingly close to home. Number 4. Locke, Prime Video.
I'm not believing it.
I was 23 years old. Listen to me, you piece of worthless shit.
Don't threaten me!
One man, one car, one night that changes everything. Locke is a masterclass in minimalist storytelling, set entirely inside a moving BMW, with Tom Hardy as the only on-screen presence. As Ivan Locke drives to London, he juggles phone calls that unravel his career, marriage, and future, all in real time. Directed by Stephen Knight, known for Peaky Blinders, this psychological road drama turns a simple commute into a personal implosion. Hardy's performance is magnetic, quiet, raw, and painfully human, as he confronts the consequences of a single choice. Every conversation adds pressure, peeling back the layers of a man determined to do what's right, even as everything falls apart. Locke proves you don't need explosions or edits to create suspense. Just a brilliant actor, a confined space, and a ticking emotional time bomb. Number 3. Coherence, Prime Video.
We don't even belong here.
We thought you
told
knew.
us.
Thought you
He
knew.
told us. Everybody knew about this
Here-
except me.
One dinner party, one comet, infinite realities. Coherence is a brain-bending sci-fi thriller set almost entirely in a single house on a single night. But nothing about it is simple. When a group of friends gathers during a rare astronomical event, strange occurrences hint that multiple versions of themselves may be overlapping and colliding. Shot with no script and a micro-budget, the film thrives on naturalistic dialogue, eerie improvisation, and clever quantum twists. Writer-director James Ward Byrkett crafts a Twilight Zone-esque nightmare of doppelgangers, fractured timelines, and moral breakdowns, all without leaving the dining room. As paranoia mounts and trust shatters, Coherence morphs into a psychological maze where every choice creates another version of reality. It's minimal, magnetic, and deeply unsettling. You don't just watch Coherence, you try to survive it. Number 2. The Man from Earth, Prime Video.
It's time to die.
A farewell party turns into one of the most mind-blowing philosophical conversations ever captured on screen. In The Man from Earth, a university professor shocks his colleagues by claiming he's 14,000 years old and has never stopped moving to keep his immortality secret. What unfolds is a dialogue-driven masterpiece that explores history, religion, mortality, and human identity, all inside a living room. No flashbacks, no effects, just relentless ideas. As his friends try to debunk him, the story becomes less about proving him wrong and more about what it would mean if he's telling the truth. Written by Star Trek alum Jerome Bixby, it's one of the smartest low-budget films ever made. This isn't sci-fi with lasers. It's sci-fi with logic, questions, and one unforgettable final twist. Number 1. 12 Angry Men, Prime Video.
A man's life is at stake.
We're taking you way back, 1957, black and white, and one of the most gripping single-room films ever made. 12 Angry Men traps 12 jurors in a sweltering deliberation room as they decide the fate of a teenage boy accused of murder. What begins as an open and shut case turns into a masterclass in logic, morality, and human bias. With no flashbacks and no cutaways, every frame stays in that one room. yet tension builds like a pressure cooker as each man confronts his own prejudice and doubt. Directed by Sidney Lumet in his feature debut, it's timeless, flawless, and more relevant than ever. Minimal set, maximum impact. 12 Angry Men didn't just stay in one room. It forever changed how we see truth, justice, and each other. And that's the list. 10 mind-twisting movies that proved you don't need more than 4 walls to build something unforgettable. Whether it's a courtroom, a car, or a coffin, these stories trap you, psychologically, emotionally, and sometimes literally. This video came straight from a comment, so if you've got another theme, twist, or rabbit hole we should dive into next, drop it down below. We're always reading, always digging. Like, sub, and hit the bell for more. No fluff deep dives into the wildest, weirdest, and smartest stuff streaming right now. Until next time, stay curious, stay confined, and I'll see you on the couch.